Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Community Conversations here today. I have Mr. Brent Walker with the Dunwoody City here to tell us all about what's going on in parks and recs. Hi, Brent. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Well, let's jump right into it. So, I understand there's a new public input process that's going to be around developing the master plans for the two new park properties that are coming online. Can you tell us a little bit about how that process will work?
Sure. So the city, as a lot of people know, we just recently purchased an additional 9 acres on Burmack Road for a new park, and we've owned the former Austin Elementary School site on Roberts Drive for several years now that we bought from the DeKalb County Board of Education. And fortunately for us, we are in a position to be able to do master planning for both parks at one time. That helps us look at our park system as a whole to see what amenities may work at one site or the other, instead of just concentrating on one piece of property and try to balance the amenities we have across the entire city. So what we've done is we have contracted a design firm, Pond and Company, who are fairly well known in the industry, park design. They are experts in that field. So they will be coming in and helping us create public input process and concepts and options for the community to see, give us feedback on. Our first public input process is actually tonight. We will be out at Food Truck Thursday at Brooklyn Park this evening from 5 to 8 with a survey where people can scan a QR code on their phone, answer some very simple questions about types of amenities they would like at either park property. We've got some boards to kind of show what the property current conditions are, what they look like now. And after that, we're going to compile that data, create a couple of concepts for each location, and then host some inside or on-site meetings in person at both properties in October, because we want people to come out and see the property, physically be in the space, look at the concepts that we have and how they apply to that location. We're going to put things out where you can see how that amenity would fit onto the property, so you can really get a sense of what it's going to look like once it's constructed, if that's the concept we go with. So we'll do that in October. After that, we'll hone in more on the data we collect and settle on what concept to present to City Council. Our council members will then determine what direction they want us to go in based on the community input and feedback we get. And then from there, it'll move to a final concept design, a master plan for each park. So it's a step process. We certainly want to make sure we give all of our residents and citizens an opportunity to give us their feedback. The survey link will also be on the City of Dunwoody Parks and Recreation website. If you can't make it to Food Truck Thursday tonight, please go to our website. There's a project page there, has the link, has the survey, has the display boards we're going to present tonight at Food Truck. So there's always an opportunity to get involved, even if you can't make it out in person.
Okay, well, that's pretty exciting. I have to say, I never really thought that I would be able to give some input into a park that's right up the street from me because I live, work, and play right here in Dunwoody. I actually live on
Great.
Roberts Drive, right by the park. So that's really exciting. I have a lot of thoughts about what should go in that park.
Good. Good. It's better than the school that was there. We'll say that. It's gone now. The school's gone, and it's starting to look like a park already. So
I
I'm excited.
know. It's so hard to believe that a school even existed in that small space. Well, tell me now, it was important to bring consultants in. Why was that, part of the whole planning process? And, what is the role that they have in this whole thing?
Sure. So we're a small department. It's myself, and I have four full-time people that work with me, and they're primarily operational people, run our recreation programs or sports programs, operations and maintenance, take care of the parks. So hiring a consultant helps us have a team of people that are dedicated to this process. It's not just something else that our daily operations guys got to do on the side, because we want to give it the time it deserves and create the process that we need to develop a good concept and master plan. Pond and Company are very good at that. They've done a lot of parks all over the country. And so they provide that extra staff to help go through this process correctly and bring a lot of things to the table. They have a lot of experience with public input process. They have a lot of tools at their disposal to collect data, to do digital surveys, all of those things. So really it helps take that load off of city staff to try to go through this process and puts it in the hands of the experts that know how to do it.
Okay. All right. So now once we have this master plan, what are the next steps? Does it depend on funding?
Yes, everything we do depends on that tax dollar. So where it goes from here is after the master plan is adopted, we will then put it forward as a budget request item when it's appropriate, when the funding is available to build that park. The concept will always come with a estimate of probable cost of what that design would cost us, and we use that to kind of gauge how much of a budget request to make. So once the city council approves it as part of that year's budget for a capital project, we would then put it out for construction documents and permitting. We would take that concept plan, which is kind of the 30,000 foot pretty image of what the park will eventually look like. And we have a engineering firm do the actual construction documents of how it's going to be built, the blueprints for the park. And then with that comes permitting. And once that is complete, we would put it out to bid for a construction company to come in and actually build the park on the location. So it's a bit of a process to finally get to a final product. But it's something we've done a lot in the past 10, 11 years I've been in Dunwoody, and we've had some very good outcomes in some of the other parks we've built.
Okay, so that brings me to my next point, because I've heard about this new park that's in the work at Parks at Perimeter Center East. And I'm just wondering, like, what makes this park so unique?
So this one's, it's kind of been fun to go through the design process with it. It was originally, when we took over the park properties from DeKalb County after incorporation, this was a small 1.5 acre piece of property over on Perimeter Center East. It's right in the shadow of the old City Hall building that was in the office complex across the street. And then since then, we bought some additional property and actually had some land donated to us. So it's a 5 acre parcel now. It's nice. North Fork of Nancy Creek flows through the property. We've already constructed a section of the Dunwoody Trailway through there. We put a bridge in that connects the Georgetown community at the Georgetown Swim and Tennis community over to PCID. So we already have people utilizing that trail and bridge to connect from the Georgetown neighborhoods over to the mall. We have already gotten input from people that use it for commuting to ride to MARTA. So we've already seen an impact of just having that property. One of the things that we heard from Discover Dunwoody was that when visitors come to Dunwoody and they stay in our hotels, and we cannot wait till they come back, is they needed somewhere to go outside and exercise, to run, to not just have to go to the gym in the hotel or wanted somewhere to walk. So what we've tried to do is develop a park plan that will be an attraction for those visitors, where they can come out of their hotel room, get on our trailway, come to the park. There'll be a small exercise yard in the park with exercise equipment. There's a small splash pad, which will also be a water feature. So if you're staying in a hotel and you want to go outside and have lunch, there'll be a nice area to sit, have lunch. Or if you're someone that works in one of the offices across the street, it's going to be a nice place for our corporate visitors to come and visit during their day, to get out of the office, take a break, and relax in a park. It's got some nice nature trails. It will have a playground, a bathroom, of course, pavilion, and the exercise equipment and the water splash pad. So not only is it going to be a nice park for our corporate community in the PCID area and our visitors to Dunwoody, but it's also going to be a nice amenity for some of the neighbors that live across the street in the apartment complex for their kids to come and play also. So we tried to develop a park design that kind of hit a couple of different types of communities. And I think we've got a really good product that's going to happen in the next year.
Okay, well, I haven't had a chance to venture up there, but I did hear talks about that trail, and I'm always looking for a nice trail to run. I think it'll also be a nice backdrop for pictures too, so I can't wait to get out there. So now you also opened Waterford Park a few months ago,
Mhm.
and that process was pretty unique as well. Can you tell
So
us more?
yeah, so that one we actually did in house, and it was a different type of project in the sense that it already had amenities on the property that we would
Mm,
typically build in a park. It was an older swim and tennis facility for the Waterford community. The pool had gotten to a point where it could not be repaired, so they approached the city and requested or asked if we would be interested in making it into a community park, which of course we were more than happy to do so. So
right.
we purchased the 7 acres from the Waterford community. It had 2 tennis courts and a nice pavilion, and then of course the old swimming pool. So all of those amenities are on about an acre of the property, and the rest of it is all wooded along the
Mhm.
stream corridor in that community. So because of that, we really didn't need to go through a big conceptual design master planning process because those 2 fixed amenities were already there, and
Mhm.
the space that was left from the pool really needed to be set up for a bathroom and a playground, and that's what that community wanted. They wanted a small neighborhood park. They didn't want a lot of cars and activity that you would see at Brook Run, and it didn't make sense for that park anyway. It's in the end of a cul-de-sac in a neighborhood. The good thing about it is once the trail system is developed through the wooded area, it connects all of the surrounding neighborhoods back to the park. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity, not just for the Waterford community, but a lot of the other neighbors that are up and down that creek corridor that are typically in other cul-de-sac communities will now be able to walk over to that park and bring their kids to that playground, play on those tennis courts. So because those amenities were there and we had such a limited footprint to put the other 2 amenities in, it just was something that we could do in house. Gabe Nepps, my operations manager, managed the demolition of the old pool, the rehabilitation of the tennis courts and the pavilion, and we have everything ready to go for a new bathroom and a new playground when the budget is available to build those things. So it's already being utilized. We see a lot of families come down there. We
Mhm.
did plant grass in the area where the pool was, so now people can go in and enjoy the park as is. We already have people out there playing pickleball on the tennis court, so it's already a popular amenity for that neighborhood already.
Okay, well, I might have to get my tennis rackets out, dust them off, and go play a little game of
Sure.
tennis. So now I remember seeing how they were like revamping Brookwood Park. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are they going to do? And there's a new amphitheater. And so you've been able to host your first series there during the
Yeah.
summer. Tell me, what kind of feedback are you getting?
It's been tremendous. I mean, this is a program that we started a couple of years ago, our Grooving on the Green concert series.
Mhm.
We were bringing a stage in and hosting over at Pernishaw Park over on the lawn over there because we didn't have the lawn space at Brook Run for the crowds that we wanted to get for the concert. And we also knew that the amphitheater was coming, and eventually the home for this concert series would be in the amphitheater at Brook Run. We had some good success at Pernishaw Park with those concerts. We've had great success with that program at Brook Run Park. It's um, it's been just uh, a fantastic experience getting to see the fruits of our labor over all these years of planning and construction and knowing that it was going to be what it is. And now to finally, after having to take a little bit of a break for COVID, we did finish during COVID when COVID first started, so we weren't able to have our concerts when the facility was done. But this summer, we were finally able to host our concert series. We've got our next one is actually this weekend. It's Saturday.
Mhm.
Um, and we have 2 bands actually playing starting at 6 o'clock. So we hope everyone will come out and enjoy us for this last concert in the amphitheater for Grooving on the Green. But it has just been a great experience for our community. And we now have a home for concerts. And in the
Mhm.
past, we just didn't have that. and now we have that facility. So it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, wow. I tell you, it's been like so much growth in the area. You just don't think about it, when you're in the middle of it, you see everything going on, you're like, well, when are they ever going to finish? But it's always nice to see things that are completed and come to life and really become vibrant in what they're intended for, right? And speaking of which, the Dunwoody Senior Baseball summer tournaments have really been very effective and injecting cash for the local businesses in the area, something upwards of $250,000. And as the chamber, we advocate for our local businesses. I wonder, are you guys looking to expand that program at all?
Sure. So when we built the baseball fields at Brook Run, Dunwoody Senior Baseball has been our baseball provider. It has been in Dunwoody for decades. They've been a kind of a cornerstone for youth baseball in the whole DeKalb County, North Metro area of Atlanta for a long, long time. And they provide a tremendous program. It's a great asset to the city. They were in our older baseball fields up at Dunwoody Park for many, many years. And then when we did the land swap with DeKalb County to build the new Austin Elementary School, those fields were demolished, and we built the new fields at Brook Run and moved that program over there. And because of the type of facility we built with artificial turf and just the ability to provide more game time and have the middle school right next door, which is the community that they serve, we've seen it blossom. We've seen that program develop more teams, more opportunity. They've hosted tournaments for a lot of years, but now with having that turf field, everybody wants on it. Everybody would love to get some time on that field. And so as a department, that's where we try to balance our program providers' needs to generate the revenue they need to be sustainable as a program and as a nonprofit, to provide the continuing value of that program in Dunwoody, and at the same time have it available for other user groups too, or someone else can have an opportunity to rent it. It's good revenue for the city, for the parks department through a rental, but also we're very proud of Dunwoody Senior, and we're very, very proud of what they've been able to accomplish over there. So we're going to continue with that relationship. We're going to continue with that balance of programming with them and opportunities for them to generate revenue and create that injection of income back into the community, particularly in the Georgetown area and some of those restaurants over there, and also make it available for other people to have an opportunity to utilize the facilities. So it's a win-win for everybody. It definitely puts us on the map for baseball and those types of programs.
Right. Oh my gosh, those baseball fields look amazing and very inviting. Unfortunately, I don't play baseball, but I pass them every day on the way to drop my daughter off at Peachtree Middle. So tell me, as we see the summer just kind of slowly, you know, slipping from our grasp, what do we have to look forward to for the fall and winter?
So we don't stop in Parks and Rec. We are always busy. We always have something on the horizon. So we've got some great programs coming up this fall. This October 28th will be our truck or treat event. It's the last food truck event at Brook Run Park. We do a big blowout at the end of the year. We have Elton John live coming this year. It's Elton John cover band. He'll be there on the 28th. That's our next big concert, even though it's Groovin' on the Green is ending this Saturday. We've got another big concert in October. We also have some events in November. We have our Veterans Day event on November 11th at our Veterans Memorial, which will be in person this year. We have our Holiday Lights, which will begin December 11th, where we bring in a professional lighting company to do a holiday light display at Brook Run Park. It'll run for several weeks over the holiday season. We also do our senior letters over the holiday season. There's a lot of assisted living communities around Dunwoody. So we have a pen pal program where we put people in the community in contact with older residents and assisted living, and they exchange letters throughout the holiday season. It was very important during COVID, especially because a lot of people couldn't visit people in assisted living. So it was a great way for them to stay connected. We also do our letters to Santa. If if our residents want to send a letter to Santa, they get a response back from him. He will respond back and let them know that he got their list, and ensure that they will get everything they ask for. But we have lots of other classes coming up too. We have new dance classes coming up at our Shelford Annex. We have a very popular program right now, which is actually pretty awesome. Is we have a Bob Ross painting class right now that is filling up every time we offer it. We offer it outside at Brook Run Park in one of our pavilions where people can come and learn how to paint like Bob Ross. So it's been very popular. We have flag football, we have kickball through our Atlanta Social Athletic Club. There's just so many opportunities right now for people in Dunwoody and surrounding communities. So all they need to do is go on our website. All of our programs are listed on the parks page. We also just released our latest quarterly program guide called the Dunwoody Leaf. It is also linked on the city's website where you can go and look at all the programs that are coming up this fall and all the amenities that are in our park system.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. Speaking of kickball, oh my gosh, that reminds me so much of middle school and dodgeball. Those are so much fun. I didn't even realize we had a social club that we could get connected with.
Yeah.
And then the dance class and outdoor painting. Oh my gosh. Can you tell us what the URL for the city's website is?
Yeah, so it's dunwoodyga.gov, and then just click on the parks link, and you'll see the additional links for all the other services from there. You can also find rental facilities at that location. We have several pavilions that we rent out at Brook Run and at Furnishaw Park and at Winwood Hollow Park. So if you have an event or a family gathering and you're looking for a nice outdoor space, you can go to that website also and book your pavilion right there on the city website.
Oh wow, that's exciting. I'll tell you, I am looking forward to the holiday and lights at the park because it was just so beautiful and amazing last year. Got some good pictures from that.
Right.
So I want to say thank you so much, Brent, for all the great work you're doing. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with us today. I think I'm going to have to challenge my board for a kickboxing tournament or something of some sort.
Sure.
Maybe it can be us against the city.
There you go. That sounds great.
Sounds like fun. Okay, well, have an amazing day, and thank you again for being here. We want to thank you all for tuning in and join us next time.
All
Thank
right. Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye-bye.